Oh, hey. Look, I'm in here multiple times. Look at me. I'm a little ghosty. It's so loud. The game or me or the applause? I'm confused. Is it the applause? Is it the applause? Was it the applause? Is the applause loud? Is it? Calm down, calm down. Ah! I still for all you can eat. All you can eat is so awesome. There's literally a time where I'm like planning foods to get as much into my stomach as possible because free food, you know? If somebody gives me free food, I'm overeating usually. That's a little issue, but you know, that happens if you grow up piss poor. I usually can't eat since parents hate me taking more food as they see shit. See, that's what your parents taught you. My parents were like when we went to when we went on longer road trips, we would often like stop at these highway restaurants where you like have a buffet and stuff, and you pay for like the size of your plate, and then you can just put the stuff on your plate that you want to have, but you pay for the size of your plate. I've not seen that in years, but that was like a standard. And then you'd also like take one of their ceramic cups and fill it up, and you would like pay once to use the cup there and fill it up as often if you wanted as you wanted to. So what my mom would make me do is like first she showed me how to put as much on my plate as possible so I like get value for money, you know, plus food is expensive, so put as much on your plate as possible. So I would usually have like high stacked plates. Nobody said a thing because that was like to be expected for some people. And my mom would always keep those cups. I'm not even sure if those were meant to be taken away, and I still have so many of these cups. She gave them to me when when I moved out. It was beautiful. You should start with meat, also eat dessert, eat things which are easier to digest, do not eat bread. I actually, I will take bread at the end, or like just not a lot. And I'll usually like have heavy foods and light foods alternating. Like I would do like a plate full of heavier foods, and then I'll just get myself some fruits and, you know, maybe some ice or stuff, like lighter foods, and then get some heavier foods again and have like 5 minutes of talking time and eat slowly, you know, but do a lot while eating because that also makes you less full. I wouldn't drink as much because if you drink a lot, at least for me, that also helps with the hunger. So like I wouldn't drink too much so more food could fit in my stomach. But I would also not eat the entire day. So that is how I do all you can eat, and then I'm like there for 4 to 5 hours and I'll constantly refill my plate, and people will be like, where do you put that? Well, you know, my dumpster truck of a butt. I learned eating sweet and sour alternately, which keeps your palate better from... See, I didn't learn that from there. I learned that by being poor. Because you gradually get used to overeating. Like, it's not like you get used to generally eating a lot. No, you get used to specifically overeating. And that's not good. At some point, I stopped like overeating at once. I would like pull it over the entire day, and as soon as I had enough money to like, or as soon as I have enough money like to get normal food for the day, I tend to eat like a lot. Imagine being poor. Broke, buy a new charger and almost electrocuted myself. Oh nah! You know what? If like you have open wires and you need to get some insulation around them again, and you don't have insulation tape or anything, but you have like the clear, transparent, normal sticky tape, you can like tape that around. Like, it's not perfect, but it does do a little bit of an insulation tape job. Sub for Dr. Dekker. Yeah, sub for Dekker.
Midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
So we get the recap.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife. Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing.
You get this day over and over.
Hilda.
We always have
black
arson,
I don't think
right?
she's got long.
And Laurie just...
Naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
I'm a bit of a pyromaniac. I love burning stuff, so I also, when I was younger, loved cutting my hair. Like, I like the sound it makes, if that makes sense. Like, it cuts easily and it makes like this very silent crackling sound, like as it cuts through and like hops through every strand of hair. And I used to like that. Sounds like a sociopath? The hair thing? Nah. Just not a nice thing. I also like flames or fires, like very soothing. I think a lot of people have that. And I kind of like watching how it like eats up anything it uses as fuel. But I also had this like weird thing going on where I was playing with scissors. I would usually play with scissors a lot when I was a child, because I liked like cutting things. I like this sound of cutting into paper, of cutting into hair, you know, stuff that's not bad per se. It's just like the sound was nice. And I used to like flick the scissors around my finger. Like, I would put my finger to one of the through one of the scissor holes and then just turn it around my finger by like swaying my finger a little bit. And I thought it was cool and all, and it was fun to do, and everybody was like, be careful, because one day it's gonna fall off and you're gonna hurt yourself. And I was like, nah, it is fine, nothing happens, you know. I did that for like half a year, more and more, because it was like fun as fuck. And then like, that was like early on in school. We had like a little bit of a recreational time, whatever, where we were like cutting and pasting stuff and like just making something, you know, but a little bit of crafting. And we were all sniffing the glue, but that's, you know, 90s kids. But I would sit in front of that girl named Isabel, which I thought was a nice person and all. No beef here. I liked her. She was cool. She was fairly cute. Like, she was one of the popular girls, but she would be kind enough to still be around. So it's like, even though she's one of the populars, she's not a bitch. So I was like 8 years old or something, and I was training the scissors, and they flew off my finger, but they didn't hurt me. No, the scissors got like shot up to her and like got stuck in what I first thought in her eye. in her like left eye. I was just like sitting there, was like, oh shit, so that's what they said. I get it now. I'm sorry, you know, she must be in pain and everything. My brain was like wrecking. Like my brain was working, wrapping itself around the situation. I was like, okay, how am I going to explain this? This is gonna be a talk with my parents. She's probably gonna be scared of me. I don't want that. Like, this was an accident. And then she like started crying slowly, but she wasn't moving. Like, she looked at me with open eyes. She was scared, and she started crying, and she had this like one bloody tear coming down her left eye, and it was like, that's fucking beautiful. And that was the first thing I said. Like, literally, I didn't say anything. We just sat there. Nobody moved. I still had my finger up, swinging the scissors around, and we just both didn't move. This tear rolls down. It is bright red, like, you know those shiny red stones? Like, those that aren't really worth anything, just the glass ones, but they are shiny as fuck. And the light was coming in, and it kind of broke itself in that red tear, and it looked fucking beautiful. And my entire brain was, like, my thoughts were racing, and as soon as I saw that, my thoughts stopped. And it was like, it's beautiful. And it was like 8-year-old me. So I was shocked, obviously. That was probably a shock reaction. Now, let me tell you, I didn't actually hit her eye, luckily enough. I wasn't crying because I was like, this doesn't help me, you know? If I cry now, it's not a logical conclusion. It doesn't help me. So what's the current situation? I was trying to assess her situation as well. So that was what I noticed. Afterwards, I noticed, like, I didn't hit her eye. It was, like, immediately underneath her eye. And so she also didn't lose sight or anything. We were incredibly lucky. I never swayed like scissors around my finger ever again. She looked at me shockingly when I said that. Oh, being a crybaby is fine. She looked at me shockingly when I said that, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to do this. Now I understand why I'm not allowed to do that. Let's get a teacher over. And I got up and got to a teacher. Now, I didn't see the other teacher that was like close to us. And that teacher saw everything and heard my first reaction. So I got the teacher. And when I came back, the other teacher was with her and had already called an ambulance and everything. And that one was there quickly. She got taken away, and she had like an eye patch for a couple of weeks. Honestly, I don't know how long exactly, but she had an eye patch for a while, and they confirmed later on that it was all fine, and we were incredibly lucky. And I was so sorry. Nobody dared to remove those scissors, by the way. And now, fun fact, we're talking about like those school scissors, you know, the fucking dull ones. But of course, I didn't have the dull ones. So that was also an issue, because like I just took the scissors from home, and we didn't have like dull scissors. So I had like, they are still dull. I'd say they are still dull, but they're like a little pointier than the usual super dull scissors. So did I have like these? I mean, if I would have had these dull scissors, they probably wouldn't have gotten stuck. But honestly, like what they later explained to us was that wasn't even that deep, and it just got stuck because of the scissors, because of the fact that they were kind of light or something. I don't know. I cannot explain it in a good way because I was 8 at that time, and stuff was not explained to me properly either. What I know was she was scared of me for at least a year. She wouldn't meet me without her friends anymore until shortly before I moved again, which was a couple of years later, because she didn't know what would happen until she understood that I didn't mean her any harm. But yeah. And of course, my parents had to come in, teachers had to come in. There was a talk about me being a potential sociopath. Or having any other mental illness going on. My mom just was like, no, my kid's a genius. She didn't want to do that. She was probably just, you know, taken in by the situation and in shock. Like, I'm not a genius, but you know, the typical thing. So I do think it wasn't completely a shock reaction. I would say, like, at that age it was a shock reaction, but it also kind of started the thing that every time I would see, like, controlled blood, you know, we're not talking about huge open wounds and gore and stuff, but every time I would, like, see a little bit of it and just light gets up to it, I'm always in awe. Like, that here looked like a gem to me, and I still have, like, this vivid image of it, and it was just, I'm gonna be completely honest, it was plain beautiful. In the entire scary situation, and it was a scary situation as fuck, this tear was God. You know, it was beautiful. So I'm gonna sit right down on that couch now. But you know, I would never actually, like, hurt people on purpose like that. It's too much paperwork afterwards, but it's also like, I don't know, like, not without consent. With consent, okay, to some extent, but not without consent. I would have been proud of my child. Well, my mom was, like, surprised. She did talk with me afterward. I, like, explained to her that it was a scary situation, but I was, like, more taken in with trying to solve the amount of issues that I expected afterwards. There were, to some degree, different issues actually happening afterward. There was stuff that I didn't expect. Obviously, I was a child. You cannot expect a child to know everything. But yeah, my brain was racing, like, up to the point even, like, before that tear rolled down, I was like, fuck, if the police comes, I'm gonna be, like, behind bars and everything. Of course, that didn't happen. So I also went into regions that have nothing to do with the possibility for an 8-year-old child. That tear calmed me down. I am actually thankful for her crying. Even though I'm up until today sorry for that happening. Morbidly fascinating. Yeah, morbidly fascinating and morally difficult. Why did I read that wrong? The panties. That's because you're thirsty, Shiver. You're thirsty. Depending on how you misread it, it might just be your mind. I can't imagine how she misread it. It is her mind. Okay, so let's see if we can take I will not be able to green out Bryce in 10 minutes, but let's go. Let's at least have a little bit of play, right? By the way, I have the Shy Lily shoulder surfer on my shoulder. It arrived today. It's so beautiful. Beautiful little arcat. So let's get into details, right? I mean, that's a good idea, right? Okay, so Bryce, he has the thing that he has his own personal midnight hour. So let's question him a little bit. Let's you know, this is the second day. So how are you today? I hate questions like how are you most of the time, like in a private setting. But you know, in this case,
There's something I want to tell you about.
yeah,
Something
sexy
else that's
voice.
wrong with me. I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
Bryce, I'm not surprised to hear that. I was expecting the worst, bro. But why do you? No, wait. Let's, you know, it's his feeling. So why do you feel you have been getting out of control?
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move.
Oh, 10 squats. I'm
'Cause I
gonna do
didn't
that.
know. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen?
Oh,
Go to a fairground?
I would do things. But yeah, let me do the squats while I think about this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we are. Thank you for the warm-up. Booty! Yes! Even though, like, it's currently more for my thighs, but I hardly feel shit in my booty anymore. Don't make me need to break into your Discord because of refugees. No, it's fine. I hope. I'll be in my true form later. Go. Praise the machine spirits. Ah, yes. Makes sense, but I just thought it'd be fun to say. It is fun to say, but... Okay, so, what could we do? Well, what exactly did he give us? Any ideas?
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen
I like
and
these
only
actors.
I could move. Because I live on my own. What
Yeah, I
would you
do
do,
too.
Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
I mean, we can go that, like, yeah. Maybe I'd go to a fairground.
Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
I would burn things, but let's not go that far. Yeah, but interesting how he goes about that. Now, I'm a psychiatrist, so it is a good idea to just go on helping people, you know? Maybe I try to help people, because maybe I can, like, offer my extra hour up to, like, help people with their things. You know? Why not? If I don't need it, in case I don't.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work? I did see a woman who was having her purse snatched, so I gave her purse back. And the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going.
That's a cool idea,
She'd
though.
never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
I see. So he takes the pictures to remember, but where are those pictures? You took another picture.
I took a picture after undressing her. I put her clothes back on before time resumed. To be honest, there wasn't much to take off and put on. Do you know what kind of girls walk around at midnight, Doctor?
Can't say I hadn't thought about that. It would be an unprofessional thing to suggest, so I didn't. You know, yeah, weird thing, still kinda understandable. I do bet a lot of people would go that way. More than you think, probably. Yeah. It is gross. It is gross. It is morally very problematic. Very problematic. At least he puts her clothes back on afterward, and he. I'm not saying this like in as if it was a good thing, but it's like he at least only took a picture. This dude still needs to stop doing that and delete the pictures, cause that's invasion of privacy, bro. Not unexpected, but still yuck. Still gross. Gross as fuck. Can't you use your imagination instead?
Thinking I had an extra hour at the end of each day did become real for me, Doctor. Maybe Dekker was a genie, and he could grant wishes. Maybe he wished himself dead. I don't know.
I think I unlocked an answer that was so far from the current line of questioning that it didn't fit anymore. Oh, we'll have to come back to this later, but it's like an end answer for some reason. So, where are the photos?
I can't delete them. I don't know why. I haven't shown them to anyone else.
Okay, at least he hasn't shown them to
see
him.
them, Doctor.
At least he has not shown them to anyone else yet. That is, you know, I'm looking for straws here. I am not trying to play devil's advocate. There is something wrong in this case with this guy. He shouldn't do that. But at least he, like, kept them to himself. Now the issue is, this is morally complicated. Normally I'd say, no, I don't want to see those pictures, because, you know, but since he cannot delete them, looking into it could help, point one, find out if they can be deleted, point two, find out if they are real as such, find out if he's just vividly fantasizing or if there is actually a thing happening. And there is also the thing, like, what pictures does he take? That, like, the type of picture can help us gaining insight into his mind a little bit at least. So this is morally questionable. I am very aware of it, but I'm gonna say yes, because there are multitudes of reasons for me to look at these pictures or, like, ask him to show them to me. While there are less reasons against it, he is showing them to me in a, like, setting that can cover privacy. So, as a psychiatrist, you know? So, what a thing that we got into, god dang it. So, yes, I want to take a look at those photos.
If you want to see those photos, you're as sick as I am.
He has a good point. There is another reasoning, but at least he seems to understand that it is a sick thing of him to do. Like, that this is morally an issue and probably not something he should do. That's a first step into the right direction. Still has a lot to do though. Bro, you don't take picture of unwilling strangers. You don't undress them without their consent. Bro. Yeah, don't look at me like that. Bro. Oh. Ugh. Ew. Harsh you. Okay, let's go. Let's go to another topic. So he said, yeah, bonk him. Good. He said, what would you do? So he said he helped somebody who had a purse stolen from them. Let's go that route. Because I'm completely honest. Maybe I'd steal a thing or two if I had the chance.
Yes, I would steal too. And I have stolen.
Please don't tell me you've stolen panties.
I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more.
Okay.
I was absolutely intending to pay.
Okay.
But when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Huh. Now I am interested. What did you steal? You have stolen bigger things?
From stealing milk, I moved on to petrol. From petrol, well...
Still fair.
All those supermarkets have all kinds of electricals, so I've stolen quite a lot of that. I'm not proud. I think I've been doing it because I can. To prove to myself either way, my extra hour is actually real.
Fair. He himself might think he's going insane and using this to prove it. It's fine. stealing is also morally wrong, especially in a way that it's not socially accepted. But if it's like stealing necessities, I'm always like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Chad, but if I see somebody stealing like food or like tampons or stuff, like bare necessities, Pampers, whatever, you know, child food, like baby food, there are specific things where when I see somebody stealing them, I will either not report it or report it very late. Cause I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, life is fucking expensive. Sometimes people do not have another option to eat. I actually went and like saw somebody stealing like baby food, and like I asked them later on, like when I saw them the next time, why they were doing it, and they were like, well, I don't have any money, but I've got like a little sister to, you know, take care of, and my mother doesn't know that I'm stealing. And I was like, you won't be stealing today. And they were like, but I need this. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'm gonna pay for it. I mean, I don't have a lot either, but... And when I paid for it afterward, I had like a word with the cashier, and they were like, this is so kind of you, because we know that this person is stealing since like 3 months. And always the same things, like it's always baby stuff, and they do not seem to take more than is necessary. And I was like, you knew that? And they were like, yeah, but we all kind of come together and cover the costs. It was kind of cute. So, there are still good people in the world. Don't forget the good people. There are still good people in the world. Faith in humanity restored in that moment, you know? Okay, so he has some bigger things. As long as nobody actually suffers because of it, I'm kind of being like neutral, you know? Sometimes I prefer to be Switzerland. Just be neutral, that's a big plus. So yeah. Now he has the tendency, like, with the moral issue, I'm gonna go into moral ickiness again. Maybe I'd, what's called, spy on people.
Well, that makes me feel a little better.
So he did it, okay.
There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me.
This is gonna get
Yes.
icky.
She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles.
This is gonna be so icky
I've
now.
always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and...
Bro! Okay, trigger warning, please. What did you do after taking off Jessica's clothes? I very much hope that this is how her name's written.
I took photos of Jessica when she was naked. When I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like. That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
It's very wrong, but I'm kinda happy he didn't go further, to be honest. Yes, it is wrong to take those pictures.
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
What the f- Okay. We're fine. People, we're fine. Feel free to unmute. Dekker prompted this? That psychiatrist was unprofessional as fuck. Or, you know, he's working for Lord and Savior Cthulhu, but to be honest, even Cthulhu has some standards, let's be honest. We might be going on with this later. I will quit the game for now. Cthulhu would be disappointed, yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. And thank you so much to Zelex90 and Westmake87 for supporting me on Ko-fi to make these videos happen. And you can also support further videos coming up and see your name here in the credits. Just hit the link in the description and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye!